1. What's up, Golden Frying Pan people? Welcome back to the kitchen. I hope you guys had a good week and weekend. I know I'm quite a bit late, but there's a good reason for that. The reason in question being I am now bald. That is not a joke. That is genuinely the reason, and it is a good reason if you ask me. No, I am bald, certified bald. Now I have more hair on my head because, you know, the baldening, if you will, happened, only, hey, I got him? Unfortunate. The baldening happened last Saturday or so. It was originally not supposed to be Saturday, it was supposed to be, Sunday, but then some things happened and now I'm bald. Now, I'm sure the main question that you're asking, which is the question that everyone's asking, is why are you bald? That's a good question. And I have a counterpoint. Why aren't you? Do you have an answer for me? No? I think that's pretty telling. Nah, it was just a thing that I've been bald before, and that was a thing that I did at the end of my senior year. I masked it as a crappy challenge video, even though I was going to go bald one way or another. I was gonna go bald one way or another. But, regardless, yeah, I did it so that, like, let me reset it. Let me refocus. Let me align my chakras real quick. Basically, someone approached me and was like, yo, we should go bald. And I was like, all right, fire. And then over the last several months, as I've seen them, you know, every now and again, they've re-brought it up. They're like, we're going bald, you know, we're going bald. And it was a thing that we got like a whole bunch of people. That sucks. We got a whole bunch of people on board, right? And it was a thing that most of them like started off being like, oh yeah, but then whenever it actually came to it, like day of, they were like, no. Now, I'm sure the main question that you're asking, which is the main question that everyone has asked since then, is why? You know? Why do you want to do that? Why did you do that? You know, you had a beautiful head of hair. And they're right. It's not because I hated my hair, right? That is not the reasoning as to why I shaved my head this time. It was just because they wanted to. But, like, my friends wanted to do it, blatantly. That's a big reason as to why it happened. My friends wanted to do it, and they said that, like, they'll only do it if I do it, and I didn't care. I don't care, right? I just don't. It's not a thing that I really particularly think is, like, obviously it's a pretty big deal. I had to kind of psych myself up for it. I had to be like, okay, this is actually happening. This is actually happening. But it wasn't something that was like the end of the world, which is apparently a feeling that a lot of people felt like it should have been. But that it just wasn't that way for me, because I mean I had been bald before. At that point, I had experienced what it was like, and it wasn't a big deal, you know. It was just fun. It was just a cool thing to do. I remember one of the initial reasons why I did it was because of that idea of okay, are we gonna jump? We're not. Because of that idea of just wanting to prove it to myself, I guess, of wanting to just do it for me, you know, to see what it was like, to be different, to give it a shot, because I had, you know, grown out my hair before. I had become quite a twink, as the kids say, but I hadn't tried, you know, getting rid of it all, which is, you know, feels like it's the way cheaper, way easier. It only takes like 5 minutes to cut your hair, and it takes you months and months and months and years sometimes to grow it out, right? But I got you. But despite that, it was something that many people were, you know, they were confused about. They weren't sure about. They were just like, why? And this was a reoccurring thing that other people that like wanted to do it as. There is an ant on my screen. Hold up. Okay, they're gone. What the? What? Whatever. Where? This was a mistake. Nope, I got him. Okay, that was probably a noob. I should probably feel bad about that, but I don't because they were a spy, and that's my natural enemy. So, a part of it was superficiality of this sense of control. Of this sense that, like, it doesn't really matter. Your hair can be gone in a moment, and there's nothing that you can really do about that in that scenario, right? People like to have a whole lot of control over themselves and over different aspects, and it's definitely a great avenue to express yourself and to be your own person, right? And that's valid. That's real. But it was something that I realized there was no real reason for me to keep it. It was just something that, like, it didn't really represent me. My hair doesn't really represent me. That's not something that I feel particularly reserved to. Dang. Soldier Main, he's not doing it right. But yeah, that's what I was doing. There was like so many other things that happened last weekend. But that was the main thing, right? That was the main thing, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun last weekend. It was a bit eye-opening, you know. This summer, a bit busy, a lot going on, a lot to juggle, a lot to go through, but not bad. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Is that guy wearing Halloween stuff? Wait a minute. He is. Interesting. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. Good times had by most, I believe, at least. Yeah. Why do they have so many heavies? What is this loadout? What is this strat? But overall, yeah, I had a good weekend. I didn't buy into the superficiality, I guess. I like big word. It make me sound smart. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good week. I will be uploading another Golden Prime Handman this week to make up for that last one. So, hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you in a couple days.